What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the Neighborhood Podcast. One of the hosts of the podcast. My name is Kyle Dabra.
What's going on, guys? Kevin Valentin here, the other half of the podcast. Kyle, normally I have a positive question or a an interesting catchphrase of some sort to kind of introduce these segments, episodes, or whatever have you that we do. I'm upset at what we're going to talk about today, and I know you feel the same way. So I mean, let's just get right into it. The NFL's top 100 list was released by ESPN. Granted, a lot of other companies released their top 100 list, but we chose this list in particular to kind of go over in depth. And Kyle will tell you why.
Yeah, so we're going over the top 100 list that ESPN has for the 2021 NFL season. So they'll rank the top 100 players throughout the league. And they took a panel of 50 NFL experts. I should say experts in quotation marks because this list is absolutely atrocious. And they are basically projecting the top 100 based off of what is going to happen this season. So, just to kind of go down the list, we're going to start with the top 10, and then Kevin and I will dive into this list. So, at number one, they have Patrick Mahomes. At number two, they have Aaron Donald. At number three, they have Aaron Rodgers. At number four, they have Russell Wilson. Tyreek Hill is number five. TJ Watt is number six. Jalen Ramsey is number seven. Devontae Adams is eight. Josh Allen is number nine. And then Travis Kelce rounds out the top 10. So that's just the top 10. We are going to dive into this list a lot more specifically. Granted, there are a lot of snubs throughout this list, and there's a lot of disrespectful picks that Kevin and I both discussed before we started recording this. Kevin, just give me your sense, just give me your opinion on this list from ESPN.
Well, I mean, I'm just being blunt and saying I think this list is absolute horseshit. But I do think, like we discussed before the episode, that this list is made to rile up the audience and rile up the players. Because if you really pay attention to a lot of what these players talk about right before the season starts, and every year they always bring up this top 100 list, they'll ask them post game press conference of a preseason game. They'll ask them after practices. They'll ask them in between drills or whenever the media has their opportunity to speak to the athletes. They'll throw in a top 100 question, and you can see their reaction. You can see their frustration with some of these ratings. And I really do think that ESPN does this for the publicity because some of these picks are just absolutely, just like Kyle said, I mean, there's no other word but atrocious. I mean, obviously there's a bunch of adjectives that I could use, but I'm not exactly a thesaurus. So I'm just going to start here and say that even some of the top 10 just seems to be a little questionable. But again, Kyle and I are going to go into a deep dive as to some players that deserve either a higher rating or some players that just weren't even mentioned in this list. And I mean, I have to be biased and I have to start it off. Darius Leonard is 88 on this list. You're telling me Darius Leonard is only better than 12 players on this list? Like, granted, there are a lot of athletic players at positions that, of course, I am not 100% familiar with. There are players that I am either just coming into the knowledge of their existence or I just don't follow them as in depth as I do as other players. But you're talking about someone from 2018 to today, leads the league in tackles per game on an average of 9.9, leads the league in tackles since he's been in the league, has been selected All-Pro, either first or second, in his first 3 seasons, and has been a Pro Bowl selection 2 out of the 3 seasons. And he's played less games than the top linebackers in the NFL. He's 88. Dalvin Cook in the 50s. Derrick Henry, Mr. Back-to-back 2,000-yard seasons, he is outside of the top 20. Ryan Tannehill is like 48. You telling me Ryan Tannehill is better than Darius Leonard? Ryan Tannehill is better than Buda Baker. I mean, Kyle, take the mic because I don't understand where they come up with this. I get it; they're predictions on what's coming, in the next season of what they believe to be. But Kyle's got even more because, I mean, like, for God's sakes, Tom Brady's sitting here outside of the top 15. And I think that that's absolutely stupid. And I'm not a Tom Brady fan, but you cannot deny the GOAT having a resurgent season last year and leading the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to a Super Bowl championship when no one thought it was even possible.
So check this out, because I'm just going to be 100% honest here. They've got Dak Prescott ahead of Tom Brady. Are you kidding me? This is ridiculous. Tom Brady, his first season with the Buccaneers, he goes for 4,500 yards passing and throws 40 touchdowns, beats Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and Patrick Mahomes in 3 straight games to win a Super Bowl. By the way, 2 out of those 3 games were on the road, and he's ranked 20th in this list. This is the greatest quarterback of all time. And granted, I'm looking to last year specifically, not throughout his entire career. But last year, he was a top 3 quarterback. Arguably top 5, if you really kind of want to make it stretch. And they have him at 20, and they have Dak Prescott at 12. I don't care if they're projecting who's going to be nice this year and who isn't this upcoming season. But to have Dak Prescott ahead of Tom Brady, despite the fact that Brady's 44 years old, is ridiculous. I don't want to hear it. And that's despite the fact that they're projecting Brady to throw 35 plus touchdowns, throw for 4,600 yards passing, and Dak Prescott, based off of their own projections, they're projecting him to throw for 4,800 yards passing, 31 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. Brady's projected to throw more touchdowns and less interceptions, yet Dak Prescott is 8 spots ahead of it. I agree that this is the bias coming out, and I fully understand that. But this is ridiculous. I do not want to hear it whatsoever. And then just looking throughout the top 10, I mean, they got the top 3 right. I think Patrick Mahomes is solid at number 1, Aaron Donald at number 2, and Rodgers at number 3. But throughout this top 10, Devontae Adams at number 8.
The best receiver in football
This
over
is like,
Tyreek Hill. Like, I don't know.
He cooked corners all season, and they have him at number 8. He should be top 5, as far as I'm concerned. TJ Watt, they have him at number 6. I don't know if he's going to be that good. Possibly a top 5 or just outside the top 5 this upcoming season. No. And they did Stephon Diggs dirty in this list. Stephon Diggs was one of the best receivers that the NFL had to offer last year. And they have him just barely inside the top 20. I mean, these are just some of the players that I've just listed here. They have Josh Allen at number 9. Okay, that's fine. He had a solid season last year. I think that he's worthy of being a top 10 player. But
what about your boy George Kittle?
Bro, he's ahead of Tom Brady. Like, what? Like, no. I mean, they have Derrick Henry outside of the top 25. Derrick Henry, who was a bulldozer of a running back who was literally destroying NFL defenses throughout the last, 3 years? And they have him barely in the top 30. What? No. I've had enough. I mean, Darius Leonard at 88. Darius Leonard is one of the best linebackers in this league. You could honestly make a case that he's arguably the best linebacker in the league. Bro, they have him at 88, but they have Fred Warner at 30.
He's better than Warner.
What?
And that's not biased. The numbers show it.
I mean, Jair Alexander is 34.
After one good year, Minka Fitzpatrick.
Like, J.C. Jackson has had the most takeaways in the league the last 2 seasons. He didn't even crack the top 100. But you're telling me that Jair Alexander is going to hop up 60 spots based off of 1 season. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure J.C. Jackson had more turnovers than Jair Alexander last year. But Jair is in the top 35, but J.C. Jackson's not even in the top 100. Are you kidding me? Granted, this is the bias with the Patriots coming out, but still, the numbers don't.
The numbers back it up, though.
Julio Jones at 35. This is one of the best wide receivers in the last decade. 35?
Christian McCaffrey took a big hit, but Christian McCaffrey missed, I think, 13 games last year.
I mean, Khalil Mack is one of the best pass rushers that this league has to offer, and he's at 40.
Alvin Kamara's 42, bro.
Like, bro, this is it kind of goes
Bro,
to the point that
Shaquille Barrett led the league in sacks last season. He's 44.
I mean, Devin White. Where was Devin White?
Well, hold on. I'm not even there yet. Calvin Ridley's sitting here at 40 fucking 6. DK Metcalf's 47, like he wasn't made in a fucking lab. Ryan Tannehill. I
Nick Chubb is at 54.
Dalvin Cook's 52. Nick Chubb's 54. Denzel Ward's 56. Like, okay, first of all, like Marcus Peters is good, but no bullshit, bro. He's not a top 100 player anymore. Like, I'm sorry, man. There's too many times where his attitude gets him in trouble, and then he gets burned on a lot of plays. He's got great instinct, but come on, man. He's not up there. Justin Simmons, 59. Like, Quinnen Williams, bro. The rookie from like 2 seasons ago that just got arrested or was arrested like 2 years ago for gun charges or whatever. Didn't he get hurt last year? Whatever the case. 60? He's better than Darius Leonard? No. Come, like, Zadarius Smith,
Buda
Chandler
Baker.
Jones. Bro, Buda Baker. Okay, Laramie Tunzel is 63. Laramie Tunzel is a part of the worst ever constructed offensive line in NFL history in Houston. He is 63. I don't have – bro, okay. Keenan Allen is 65. Disrespectful.
Yes.
Disrespectful as fuck.
Yes.
Like, come on. Allen Robinson, 68. Like, some of these receivers, A.J. Brown, 69. Like, Amari Cooper, 71. I'm not mad at that, but, like, at the same time, like, we all know his potential, so that can stay. But Buda Baker's 72. I really want to sit down with these executives or professionals or whoever it is that makes these lists
They're experts.
and ask them whatever. Clearly, they don't know anything because these lists are outrageous. I don't get how Devin White is 75. So you're telling me Devin White is literally worse than 74 players? I can't understand why some of these. Okay, Tyler Lockett, he's not a top 100 player. He's not. I don't think he makes enough of an impact to be on this list. He's a role player. He has potential outbreak games, yet he's not a top 100 player. Chris Godwin can be, but with the system that they have right now, I don't know if he's a top 100 player.
Okay.
And that's not an insult to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at all. But there are a lot of players on this list that are better than him.
What about Aaron Jones at 84?
How do you where do you get this information? Like, where do you how he had a better season last year than the season prior, and last year he was ranked 63. How do you go down 21 spots when you got better last year? Like, where Jamal Adams, one of the most athletic safeties in the game, 85? Baker Mayfield, he got better last year, but he just cracked the top 100. So I'm not saying he's 86 material, but I don't think that he's 86. You know what I'm saying? Levante David, been in this league for a long fucking time. 87. And then obviously, I'm not even going to mention his name because everybody knows who the fuck Darius Leonard is. But he's out there 88. And then you just round out the rest of it. Michael Thomas shouldn't be in the top 100. That's a spot that could have gone to someone else. He barely played last year, and he decided to have surgery literally like a month ago for the ankle injury he's been battling all year. Bro, once the season ended, he should have had the surgery so he can recover. Michael Thomas shouldn't be on this list. DJ Moore should not be on this list. Bro, I don't even know. Cameron Jordan is just disrespected. Bro, are you serious? He was 30th last year. He's 94 this year. JJ Watt, 38th last year. He's 95, one of the league's best pass rushers in over a decade, and he's literally the bottom of the last 100 on a new team. If you're making projections, you have him and Chandler Jones rounding outside of the top 100 or outside of the top 50? I don't understand. Mark Andrews, a tight end who has like average seasons. He has like hot weeks fantasy wise. Why is he in the top 100? Doesn't deserve. Kevin Bird. I don't think he deserves to be in the top 100. Orlando Brown. We haven't even seen what he's going to do consistently. He's the 100th player. Bro, that's like 4 players in a row right there that could have been filled by other people or that could have been placed in different positions on this list. And I think this list is absolute bullshit.
There's not really much more that I can say. It's just, we were contemplating talking about the NFL Network's top 10. And like there were some issues that I had with that because they had Brady at number 7. I thought Brady should have been a little bit higher. But when Kevin and I dove into this ESPN top 100 list, it's just disrespectful. It's just straight up disrespectful. I mean, you have Brady at 20. You've got Buda Baker in the 70s. In the 70s, one of the best and up and coming safeties that this league has to offer. You have Dalvin Cook out of the top 50. He's one of the
Bro,
best
no
running.
cap, no cap. Another snub, Darius Slay.
Bro, we could go on and on. Like literally, we could go
What
on
do
and
we
on.
what do we fucking do? Kenny Moore's not on this list. Like bias aside, the best slot corner in fucking football.
You know,
Like,
and here's the difference. If you really want to kind of get down the brass tacks here, this is the difference when so-called experts, apparently 50 of them, get together to compile this trash can of a list compared to the NFL Network where the players actually pick the list. So I think the players, they made a more accurate representation of the top 100, in my opinion, than what ESPN did. This list to me looks like they're just straight up trolling with this list. I mean, Dak Prescott is ahead of Tom Brady in this list. They have Dak Prescott possibly cracking the top 15 best players in the league this season.
bro, Zeke isn't on this list.
I can understand that, though. I can understand that. He has not played well the last couple of years. I can understand that.
If you're going off of projections, you're getting your quarterback back. You're getting a lot of offensive
That's true.
linemen back. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to make it about projections, I feel like he's going to have a great year with the people that he needs to be back. Josh Jacobs isn't on this list. Like, I don't get like where are
I,
Robert Woods and Cooper
they,
Kupp,
they don't have
one of the most underrated receivers in the league. Where's Tyler Higbee?
they don't
Like,
have OBJ in this list.
OBJ also, like you said, in terms of inconsistencies,
Yeah,
that's
it's. I mean, you can go off of
Saquon
name.
Barkley's not on this list. Saquon Barkley.
Yeah,
How did I not even realize that? What?
I mean they had Christian McCaffrey, but they had him down. They had him in like the top 35. And just a
Bro,
couple of years ago, I mean, he was like,
Jonathan Taylor's not on this list.
it's just, it really does go to show that, man, you got to take these lists with a grain of salt because this list is atrocious. I mean, it's one thing if they could get the top 10 right. If they get the top 10 right, it's like, okay, they could basically screw up, 11 through 100. But I can't even say they got the top 10 right. Outside of maybe the top 3. I think the top 3 they got right, maybe. But I mean, Tom Brady's at 20 and Dak Prescott's at 12. I can't get past that. I'm sorry. They're expecting Dak Prescott to have a better year than Tom Brady. I'm just okay. That's all I got to say.
No disrespect. I know he only played like 8 or 9 games, maybe 10. Joe Burrow's on this list. I think Joe Burrow's gonna have a great year. Recovering from an ACL injury, top 5 pick in Jamar Chase. Obviously, you're getting your offense fully loaded back. You improved your defense with some free agency signings. Not that Cincinnati's going to make noise, but again, you're going off of projections. That is what this list is based off. If you're going to tell me that the top overall number 1 pick in the games that he played last year, with the additions this year, is the top 100 player, I don't really. I don't really understand the criteria of what you need to make to get on this list, but it just I want to know why Quinn Williams is on this list. To be honest with you, that's one of the biggest like question marks. Like I just like what do we?
And
What do
you're never gonna let down the fact they got Darius Leonard at 88.
Bro, come on, man. The numbers show it, man. I'm not even gonna waste my energy anymore. Like I don't get it. Like you lead the league in tackles in 3 years you've been in the league, all pro select. Like, come on, man. I'm done. Like this league is a joke. This list is a joke.
Yeah, it's
I,
it's just it's disrespectful, like disgraceful. I mean, whatever kind of like synonym you want to attach to it, that's just bad. We'll just go with that.
yeah,
But that'll wrap up the video of this horrendous
God-forsaken
list.
list.
So, if you guys like the video, hit that like button below. If you guys want to support the channel in any way, shape, or form, hit that subscribe button below. Any sort of support that we can give for the channel, Kevin and I definitely appreciate it. Kev, is there anything else you want to wrap it up? Because I got nothing left.
No, I've wasted enough energy on this.
I think we hit this list pretty good. So we'll move on to the next segment. We got another segment for you guys coming up in a little bit. So stick around for that, and we'll see you guys then.